Hollywood, stop remaking films that don't need remaking. In this video, we're talking about why. Why do they keep ruining really good films that don't need touching? Now, there are some great remakes of films. The Great Gatsby, A Star is Born, there's been about 3 versions of that. There are some really good versions. But in the last few years, Wonka is the one I've just been to see, and it's an okay film. It's watchable. But unless you're going to be better than Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, which you're not, because for me that was a perfect film, then why remake it again? I mean, Johnny Depp did a version. Again, it was never as good as the original. So, let's unpack it. Because I'm all for remaking a film if it's going to improve a film. So if there's something that's a bit like a Les Miserables, where the concept was okay, but actually when you turn it into a musical, it works really well. I know that's slightly different, the film version, but it works well. But there's certain films that could do with a remake. But certain films, if I said to you, we're remaking The Godfather or Terminator or Titanic, you'd say, fuck off, Richard. And quite rightly, because those films don't need remaking. In fact, they're all too new to be remade in the best way. Now, Willy Wonka was made 68-ish, I believe it's late 60s. Okay, it could be done with, when you watch it, I watched it today again after I watched the new film, and it's just so much better. And if you look at the colours, if you look at listen to the audio, and if you listen to see some of the special effects, it is dated, of course it is, but the script itself is exquisite. It's a great script. There's some contentious bits, you know, when the I can't think of his name, the Willy Wonka's right-hand man who meets Charlie in the tunnel. It just sounds weird when you say it. So there's certain things that you might make a little bit brighter and less murderer, sex offender, to improve that. But that's the only thing you touch. The film is brilliant. There's so many good films that don't need touching. But if you're going to remake a film like that, then you've got to remake it. Now, the problem is, Gene Wilder, for me, did a far better job as Willy Wonka as the people that have followed him. Not that they did a bad job, but when you played that role like you've played it, it's very difficult to then get somebody to come in and do any better or be on par. And that's the important bit. Because we know why people are remaking it. Disney are loving what they're doing at the moment because they're remaking some of my. I was born in 1990, so I grew up on sort of it was Lion King was a sort of 94, 95 when that came out. The remake of Lion King is okay, but did it need remaking? No. Are they remaking it so it gets a whole new generation into the cinema to take the parents who will then, like me, go, oh yeah, I'll go watch the old one again. I don't think these live animation, these live action things, they don't need to be done. Do it to a bad film if you can make it better. If the story's good or the delivery wasn't as good as it could have been, then remake it. But there's been some fucking awful remakes. Like, there's been some terrible, terrible remakes. Alfie, Jude Law, it was probably about 10, 20 years ago, didn't need remaking. The original Alfie with Michael Caine was much better. It just didn't need touching. There's certain films that you should stay away from. If I said to you, let's remake Godfather or Shawshank Redemption, you'd probably want to punch me in the face, and you'd probably be right in doing so. So we know why they're remaking it. I watched a great film the other day, a recommendation, if you've not seen this, Where Eagles Dare, which is Richard Burton and Clint Eastwood, and that's about 1961 maybe. It's an old film, and it's basically the British and American troops going in undercover to infiltrate a Nazi camp in World War II. It's fictional, but set in sort of a World War II era. It was brilliant, honestly, had me on the edge of the seat. My father-in-law recommended it, and it was a fantastic watch. Now that could do with a remake, not because it's a bad film, but just because when you watch it, you go, this needs bringing forward with special effects. Another one that I watched over Christmas, because I watch it every Christmas, is The Dam Busters. Dam Busters is a great film, brilliant story to be told, true story. But when you look at like the special effects at the time, they're probably groundbreaking. But now, some of the cuts in the scenes, and you just watch it and you're going, this is a very difficult watch. I watched it because my dad brought me up on that, as I would do into my own kids now. The cycle continues. But you think, actually, that film, especially when you like some of your Dunkirk that's just been made, and you're thinking, the audience would watch that. You don't need a Hollywood cast. You just need a good story, which the story's there. Don't change the dialogue, don't change the steps, and put it in there. So basically, all I'm saying is fucking stop changing good films. Stop trying to make money. Just go and make a YouTube video. You should subscribe and like this video if you're here. If you are here still, I appreciate you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.